All right, let's just dive right in. If you're in the SEO world, you know the feeling. The old tricks just aren't working anymore. You're putting out fantastic content, but when it comes to AI search engines, it feels like you're invisible. Well, today, we're going to break down the new playbook. It's not about ranking higher, it's about getting quoted directly by AI.
For years, we've all been obsessed with the same things, right? Keywords, backlinks, meta tags, all to make Google's crawlers happy. But the AI engines, they're playing a totally different sport. They are laser-focused on structure, on clarity, and on credible sources. Honestly, they could care less about your keyword density. They just want to know, can I understand this, and can I trust it enough to build an answer?
And this is the exact frustration so many of us are feeling. You follow the old checklist, you hit publish on something you're really proud of, and then crickets. The thing is, the problem isn't your content. It's not the topic. The problem is the format. See, you're writing for a human, but an AI is your first reader now, and it has completely different needs.
This is a really fundamental shift. We have to stop thinking about how to get someone to click on our page and start thinking about how we can help the AI build the perfect answer. This one little change, it changes everything about how we need to create content.
So let's just quickly remember the old world. Traditional crawlers, from Google and others, they would read and index the entire web. Their goal was basically to build a giant library, and when you search for something, they'd point you to the most relevant book, or in this case, the best page to click on. The page itself was the final product.
But AI engines, they do something totally different. They don't just index your content, they take it apart. They parse it, they figure out what it means, and then they synthesize facts from all over the place to create a brand new, direct answer. They're not trying to send people to your page, they're trying to become the destination.
So, you see, this new reality, it demands a new strategy. And that brings us to Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO for short. This is the whole framework for making your content not just visible, but actually useful to these new AI synthesizers. It is the key to staying relevant in this new world.
And if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this right here. This is the single most important mindset shift you need to make. Your goal is not to be #1 on a results page anymore. Your new goal is to be the trusted source that the AI chooses to cite directly in its answer. It's a huge move from being a signpost to being the destination itself.
And here's why this is so critical for businesses. GEO isn't about chasing empty numbers. You can forget about getting massive spikes in website traffic. This is about getting your brand, your expertise, in front of a user at the precise moment they need help, building that trust before they even think about clicking a link.
Okay, let's look at a real-world example so you can see what I mean. There was this fintech firm that created a super structured guide on AML compliance. They didn't just write a blog post. They built it so an AI could understand it. And pretty soon, they found their key points being cited by engines like Perplexity and even Google's SG.
And this right here, this chart says it all. Look at that. Their website traffic barely budged, but their qualified leads and brand authority, it went through the roof. Why? Because some chief revenue officer got an answer from an AI, saw the firm's name cited right there as the source, and immediately thought, we need to talk to them. That right there is the power of GEO.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we write content that AI doesn't just understand, but actually loves to quote? Well, it all comes down to giving the AI that clean, clear structure that it's just craving. These are the building blocks. This is what AI engines are actively hunting for. Things like clear definitions, what is, numbered lists, step-by-step guides, and especially FAQs. They love questions and answers. And they place a huge value on cited facts and really precise data. Content that's in these formats is basically pre-packaged for an AI to just grab and reuse. Now, how do you signal this awesome structure you've created? The secret weapon here is schema markup. The best way to think of it is like an invisible skeleton for your content. It's a set of tags that tells an AI exactly what each piece of your content is. So it's not just a paragraph, it's a definition. It's not just a list of questions, it's an FAQ page. This is how you start having a direct conversation with the AI.
To really see the impact, just imagine a law firm. They spend weeks, maybe months, creating this incredible, comprehensive 2,000-word guide on estate planning. It is packed with amazing insights. But what happens next depends entirely on its structure. Without GEO, without that proper schema markup, that brilliant guide is just a giant wall of text. It's background noise that the AI just skips right over. But with GEO, with those clear headings, those FAQs, that schema, that same guide gets recognized, understood, and cited as an expert source. Same content, totally different outcomes.
And the end result for that smart firm? They get positioned as an authority directly inside the AI's answer. This doesn't just drive random clicks, it drives high-intent, super high-quality leads from people who already see them as the expert in the field.
So you're probably thinking, okay, where do I start? Well, the good news is you can start putting this into practice today, and often with tools you already have or can get for free. Let's make this super actionable.
Here's your starter toolkit. If you're using WordPress, amazing plugins like Yoast or Rank Math have schema features built right in. For any website, you can use a free schema.org generator to create the code. And then you can use these free tools from Merkle and Google to test it and make sure you've set it all up correctly. You can literally just start with one well-structured article and see what happens.
So I'll leave you with this one critical question to think about. Is your content just well written, or is it well understood? Because in the age of AI, the entire future of your visibility really depends on that answer. Thanks for tuning in.